April 24th, 2012. The last day anyone ever saw Sheena Bora alive. A 24-year-old woman with dreams, a promising career, and a secret that would get her killed. Her own mother, Indrani, a glamorous media executive, told everyone Sheena had moved to America. But the truth? Sheena never made it to the airport. Because that night, in the back seat of a car, Sheena was strangled. Her body doused in petrol, set on fire, and left in the woods like garbage. For 3 years, it was the perfect crime, until one man, arrested for a petty theft, made a drunken confession that would crack this case wide open. The killer? A woman who fooled everyone, including her CEO husband. The motive? A twisted web of money, shame, and a son Sheena wasn't allowed to love. This is how a mother erased her own daughter. Every monster has an origin story, and Indrani Mukerjea's began with a simple, shameful lie, one she would kill to protect. Because in 1980s India, an unmarried mother was a scandal. So Indrani, just 18 when Sheena was born, invented a new truth: her daughter would be her kid sister. A lie so convincing, even Sheena believed it. For years, it worked. Sheena grew up calling Indrani Didi, big sister. But lies are like quicksand. The harder you struggle, the deeper they pull you under. Because Indrani had climbed too high to risk the truth. By 2010, she was the wife of media mogul Peter Mukerjea, a woman who lunched with CEOs and vacationed in Paris. A bastard daughter didn't fit the brand. Then Sheena fell in love with Rahul, Peter's son from his first marriage. And suddenly, the math got dangerous. If Rahul married Sheena, the world would realize Aunt Indrani was actually her mother-in-law. Most mothers would come clean. Indrani? She booked a murder. Sheena wasn't Indrani's only sister. There was Mikhail, her actual son, also raised as a sibling. In 2012, he suddenly got food poisoning after asking too many questions. He survived. But he'd later tell police, "Sheena knew Indrani would kill us both." That night, Sheena answered one last call. "Meet me near Bandra," Indrani said. "We'll fix this like family." Sheena Bora had no reason to be afraid. Not of her own sister. Not of the man in the passenger seat, Sanjeev Khanna, Indrani's ex-husband. And certainly not of Shyamvar Rai, the driver who'd taken her to college just months before. Those would be her last words to anyone who loved her. It happened fast. The scarf tightened like a tourniquet. Indrani gripping Sheena's thrashing legs. The driver stomping the accelerator to drown out the choking sounds. 24 years of life ended in 24 seconds. This wasn't panic. This was a production. They'd brought fuel, a shovel, even a change of clothes for after. A mother burning her child's body like roadside trash. And just like that, Sheena moved to America. A story sold so well, even Peter Mukerjea, media tycoon, husband, and allegedly clueless accomplice, bought it. For 3 years, it worked. Until the one thing Indrani didn't plan, her driver's guilty conscience, and a bottle of cheap whiskey. Drunk and terrified, Rai sang like a canary. Told them about the scarf, the petrol, how Indrani promised him lifetime job security if he stayed quiet. They found Sheena's teeth, a jawbone, enough DNA to confirm what Indrani thought she'd erased forever. All that planning, all those lies, undone because a drunk driver couldn't keep his mouth shut. Poetic justice? Or just proof that no secret, no matter how well buried, stays hidden forever? Every crime story needs a weak link. For Indrani Mukerjea's perfect murder, it was him, her driver, Shyamvar Rai. A small-time crook who'd helped burn a body, and then spent 3 years seeing Sheena's face in every bottle of Desidaru. And just like that, with the stench of cheap whiskey thick in the air, India's most brazen cover-up began to unravel. Within hours, cops were digging through rain-soaked dirt where Rai said they'd burned the sister. And there it was, fragments of pelvic bone. A single molar. Enough to confirm this wasn't just a drunk's tall tale. 3 years later, and Sheena was still telling her own story. Oh, she hated this. The great Indrani Mukerjea, media queen, society darling, now just another perp in a holding cell. No designer handbag to clutch. No husband to bail her out. Just the cold metal bench, and the ghost she thought she'd buried. And then came the twist no one saw coming, Peter's shock. The man who'd lived with Indrani for 15 years suddenly claimed he never knew Sheena was her daughter. Either he was the world's most oblivious husband, or the world's slickest accomplice. But Mikhail knew. The boy who'd survived food poisoning, after asking too many questions. Now a man, staring at his mother in court, demanding, "Why did you kill my sister?" Rai's testimony was the knife that gutted her defense. He described everything, the way Sheena kicked, the smell of petrol, how Indrani had calmly wiped fingerprints off the car door after. Even then, she was tidying up. In the end, justice moved slower than grief. Sheena's bones had long turned to dust. Rahul had rebuilt his life. And Indrani? She got exactly what she'd always wanted, to be the center of attention. Just not in the way she'd planned. Gone. But not forgotten. This case proves that truth can be stranger and darker than fiction. But what do you think? Was justice truly served, or did someone get away with murder? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. If you were hooked by this twisted tale, don't miss our next deep dive into real-life crimes that shocked the world. Hit that like button if you want more content like this, and subscribe with notifications on so you never miss a story.